Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Platinum Mastermind call for 21st of September 2020. Now, for those of you guys who are joining us brand new, first of all, thank you very much for taking the time out to join us today. These calls normally we do on a Sunday every second week, but today we had to change the schedule. But the call will be back to normal for the next call, and I will give you the dates for the next call at the end when we'll have a Q&A. And I'll take you also through how the mastermind calls work. For those of you guys joining us again, thank you very much again for taking the time out to attend these calls. These calls are pretty important because this gives us all the opportunities to really get together in a mastermind setting and put our heads together, basically, and come up with solutions for challenges that people are having in the group. So I've been doing these calls now for the last 10 years. Like I said, if you want to see all the calls we've done over the last few years, just type in Mastermind Call Recording into the search box, into the Facebook group. We've had some fantastic calls in the past, and these calls really serve a great purpose for everyone in the group. So how the calls work. The Mastermind Call process, basically, a few days before the call, I'll put up a post in the group. I mentioned the date of the call and the time, and that is where people post their questions for the mastermind calls. So if you ever want to see what people are asking, or if you ever want to see what we're going to discuss in the mastermind calls and how you can also help, do go and look at that post and look at the thread in that post. And that post will basically show you the questions that people, more or less the challenges that people want help with. Those will be the questions that we put up into the mastermind call. So obviously those are known as challenges. So obviously you state your challenge in that post, and then we bring those challenges onto the mastermind calls. And as a group, as a collective, we also ask questions, qualifying questions, to make sure that is that a real challenge or not, and also what input can we all bring in as a collective or as a mastermind group, because in the group that we have, as you know, any programs that I do, everyone is selected, hand selected to be in the program. So you know, I've always controlled the numbers to make sure that we get the right people in the group, people who really have expertise. So you know, we can help each other basically. You know, we have some great people in the group with great skill sets. So you know, it's always worth looking in the group and seeing what other people are doing, and it's really great. And what I might do actually as well, I might put a post up this week just to get people to reintroduce themselves in the group and their skill set and what their expertise is. So you know, at least it'll be we'll have a list of that. I know Jack Hendricks has kindly spends his time documenting things in the group, and you'll always see his files, whether it's a spreadsheet or whether it's a list of members with all their details, will always be in the file section. So always check the file section for that sort of information if you want to see it. And then at the end of the group qualifying question, we will propose a solution. So the good thing is I'll put it out to the group and say, look, anyone has any experience in this or can offer a solution, because it's highly likely that most of us, there's so many of us in the group, will have some sort of experience with this challenge. And then obviously me, as a person having the most experience in the group, I'll present my individual challenge and sort of individual solution, and show you what I would do in that position or what I have done in that same position. So that's basically how the mastermind call process works, and it all starts from you know, the challenge that's posted in the group, and you know, you can find all the questions there. So first of all, we've already got, so this week we've just got one challenge from Sept, our newest member of the group. So welcome, Sept, and Seph's actually on the call as well, so that's great. And Sept asked the question, I like to use JV introducer strategy for a client seeking leads who are sole proprietors, not corporate contacts. Any tips or modifications to the process for sole proprietor outreach? So I'll take this question because this is obviously something that I've done in the past and I continue to do. It's a service that I do. If most of you know, it's the JV introducer service, and it's a service that I do for clients using LinkedIn, and it's basically outreach. It's one of my other programs that I also include if you're on the Mastermind track. If not, then let me know if you want access to the JV Introducer training, and I can sort something out for you to give you access to that. But it's primarily just a service-based LinkedIn outreach to reach out to business owners, whether they're corporates or sole proprietors, to create introductions and leads. Okay, it's such an elegant process that always brings results, and people who've used it in the group, if you go back and search, some people have had some great success using it. So on this particular challenge, I will answer the question for Seth, because obviously it's my script. So Seth, the process is exactly the same. Okay, so when you're using the JV Introducer strategy, you use the exact same script, but you use the same script to target sole proprietors to generate leads introductions. So the script was created to reach out to business owners, whether it's corporates, decision makers, or sole proprietors, anyone that's involved in business, or anyone that can be found either on LinkedIn, or you can do cold outreach as well. So you can do this by cold email. I have tried it. So you would use the subject line, a partnership opportunity, joint venture opportunity, strategic opportunity. But then you have sole proprietors on LinkedIn also. So I would also use the LinkedIn platform for that. Messaging is the same. It's the same outreach script that can be used for email as well. Okay, so it can be used for both purposes. So the basic script is, I have a client interested in doing business with you. Before I connect you with my client, I just wanted to ask if you're open to strategic partnering. Now, if you've gone through the program, the training for LinkedIn Introducer and the JV Introducer, I explain exactly why I do this process. And the whole point of this process really is to get a response. It's a direct response marketing mechanism, as a direct response marketing strategy. That's what it is. So you want to come across as not being a salesperson. You want to come across as being non-pushy, non-salesy, right? You want to come across as being someone genuine who actually has something to offer. But the thing is, you need to warm the prospect first to be able to trust you and like you, and also to create some intrigue to get that prospect to give you basically a yes, right? To come back and say, oh, yes, we are open to strategic partnering. We're always open to strategic partnering. I mean, what business isn't, right? That puts you on the right track and builds rapport, and puts you on the right track to be able to ask them the question. Okay, that sounds great. What I'd like to do now, I'd like to set up an appointment, an introduction, and connect you with my client. Okay, and then you basically proceed to set up the introduction or the lead for your client. And it's just a really elegant way for lead generation and to set up an introduction. Okay, that's the whole process behind it. And it's a service that I offer. I charge normally $5,000 for a 30-day campaign, and they can roll it out and they can extend that campaign if you want. But it's just so easy, and it's just literally you can do this thing in your pajamas basically, because it's just outreach. With using a laptop, you can do it anywhere in the world. You can sit in a hotel lobby and do outreach. So it's just a great thing that you can deliver, and there's a guarantee with it as well that if you don't generate one single lead or appointment or introduction, client gets their money back. It all comes down to value proposition as well. You've got to make sure that you know exactly what each lead is worth to the client. If one lead, which converts into a sale, is worth $10,000 to that client, for example, you generate 2 leads, that's $20,000 worth of business. And if they paid $5,000 for that, I mean, that's still a good return, right? But then if you can generate 5 leads, for example, for them, what's that? That comes down to what, 50,000, for example. So even $5,000 for 50,000 in return is good, okay? And if they've got a lifetime value of a customer and repeat business, then they can generate $100,000 by just spending $5,000 with you for a 30-day campaign. So it is a great service, always a great value add. Not many people do it, and it's not done in a salesy way. A lot of people who are doing LinkedIn outreach, it's just so salesy. And as you can see, if you're on LinkedIn, for example, a lot of the spam that you get is from people trying to do stupid outreach, which is just, in my consideration, just spam, really. You can use this for email as well. So, you can go out and do some research, and if you want to target a specific area or a state, for example, and you've got a list of sole proprietors, you can do the same thing, because it's just a really great direct response mechanism behind it. You know, if people will be intrigued to know who is this client that you have that wants to do business with them. People always want to know that, so they will always reply to you and say, "Look, I'm really interested. Tell me more about this client." And when they reply like that, it's just easy for you to transition into having a conversation with them, saying, "Okay, look, that sounds great. Let's see if there's some synergy here, and let me set up an appointment or an introduction." And bang, you send that over to the client. Client's happy. They've got a lead, an introduction, an appointment, or whatever it is you generate for them, and your job is pretty much done as you go along. So this is a great thing. The thing with this also, guys, is just practice. Go out there and practice. If you wanted to really get onto this, you can even give a guarantee and say, look, don't pay for just pay after 30 days. You could always invoice a company and say, look, I'm going to invoice you a 30-day invoice. You have to pay that invoice. You pay that invoice after 30 days. The campaign is 30 days. I will run the campaign for you, and my guarantee is if I can't generate a single lead, introduction, appointment, then you don't pay nothing. But if I generate it, then this invoice I'm going to send you, which is for whatever you want to charge, $3,000 or $5,000 for the 30-day service, that's got to be paid at the end of 30 days. Another option is you do 50-50. You take half the fee up front to get the campaign started, and then when you finish the campaign, you say to them they won't have to pay the remainder 50% until the campaign is finished. If the campaign is not successful, for example, then they don't pay the remainder of the campaign. Okay, so there's several ways that you can do this, and it all comes down to testing. If you see what I've been doing in the group and what I do everywhere on social media and email, I test the hell out of everything, right? And I refine the strategy, get it right, make sure it's not just a one-off, that it works 3 or 4 or 5 times, okay? And then I'll document it for you guys in the group. I'll do a case study, and then I'll create a step-by-step for you to add it as a service that you can deliver, okay? That's primarily what I always try and do behind the scenes, is to create a strategy for you guys that gives you the quickest result possible, okay? Because it's all about creating results quickly. So I'm always focusing on the result at hand, and making the result time as short as possible, so that you guys can replicate that. But this is a great service, and I said just go out there and do it, guys. Don't be afraid. I know the confidence is always a big thing. Mindset is always an issue, but like I say, you got me as a backup here. So if you need to refer me or refer my name, you're welcome to do that. But as long as you let me know beforehand, make sure you always tell me beforehand that you're referring my name or you're using my name in any transaction or in any deal. And like I say, then at least I can be prepared if I get approached, and I can endorse you that way very easily. So just make sure you let me know what you're doing. Drop me a Facebook message, email me. Just let me know that you're working on whatever you're working on, and if you need my help, just let me know what you need from me. Okay, so just always keep me in the loop. That's all I say. Okay, so Seth, I hope that helped, and that explains that you can actually use the same script, okay, even for sole proprietors. It's all about getting that result and getting that direct response. Play around with it, have fun with it, right, guys? That's the whole point. Have fun with it, become really good at it, master it, so that it becomes second nature to you. So if you speak to someone and they say, well, LinkedIn, I'm trying to do some stuff on LinkedIn, you say, well, I have an outreach service. I can set up appointments for you and generate leads for you using LinkedIn, and I don't do it in a spammy way, right? I can generate quality leads and quality introductions for you. What is each lead worth to you? What is each introduction worth to you if you close that lead that I bring you? And then you can work it out backwards from that. If you can bring them 5 to 10 leads, and each lead is worth between $10,000 and $50,000 to them, and even lifetime value more than that, they'll spend $5,000 easily. They'll give you $5,000 just to run the campaign, okay, and get results for them. So don't be afraid to do that, because it's a value add. They're getting a lot of value out of the spend with you. So they're spending 5,000 and they're going to make 100,000, 200,000, or 3, 4, 500,000. It is for them. It's a bonus, right? It is an advantage for them to do that. So always think about always think about the ROI. Okay, when someone spends something, what are they going to make back, and how quick can they make that back, and how can you help them? Always think about that, because that is a huge selling point. And if you really know your numbers, you could charge infinite whatever you want, as long as you know what that return is that that customer will get. And be bold, have a money back in there somewhere, have a risk free, and say, look, I can guarantee you X, Y. When you start doing the service and it becomes easy, then you can guarantee people very easily. But you can still guarantee them that if I don't get any introductions or leads for you, or quality leads for you, for those targeted clients that you're looking for, then number one, I'll give you your money back. Or number two, you don't pay the remainder of the campaign fee, or whatever it is, or however you want to charge. So it's quite a cool thing to do. I know quite a few people doing LinkedIn outreach. I know some people making really good money doing LinkedIn outreach as well. But they have a lot of automated software that they use. And I think if you do it this way, you just get more quality clients. Especially when you can target whoever using that strategy. All right, guys. So that's just we just had one challenge this week then. So like I said, if you've got any more challenges, make sure you put them up in the group a couple of days before the call, and we can run them through the call. So the next Platinum Mastermind call is back again on a Sunday, Sunday 27th of September, and let's take some questions. So let me know if you've got any questions. Please put the questions in the chat box, comment box. If you have any questions for me, if you have any questions for the group, please do put the questions in the comment box or the chat box if you have any questions about anything, to be honest with you. Things that you're working on right now where you need help, for example, or if you want to expand and add more on Seth's challenge that he's just that we've just put up onto the call, or anything that you want to sort of any questions you want to ask me, any help you need, or any extra training, any extra. And one thing that we also do for the group is if any of you guys, and especially you guys watching the recording as well, if any of you guys have an expertise that you want to share with the group, and you'd like to do some training for the group, let me know, and I can set that up. So we can always do that on a call. Sometimes we get members in the group to deliver training for other members in the group as well. I record it, and you get a copy of that as well. So you can always use that however you want to use it for promotional purposes. Put it on YouTube, use it as a lead gen, but it also stays in the group for other people to watch as well. So let me know, guys. If you've got any questions, please let me know. Put them in the chat box and the comment box. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I think we'll end the call today if we don't have any more questions at all, or any comments, any questions. Let's have a look. Okay, cool. Let's have a look. So here we go. Let's use the script. The LinkedIn introducer script is there. It's basically what I just mentioned on that slide. So when you go back and have a look, that is actually the script. And JT, also in the program that you have access to, the JV broker program, if you go in there, I do cover it. I think in module 3. Module 3, I think, is getting clients and partners. There is a training in there to go through it. That's the latest training as well. That's the updated for the LinkedIn introducer. So it's got the scripts in there, and it's got a brand new case study that I did recently in there as well. And I think that case study that I did recently is actually in the group. So if you just type in LinkedIn introducer into the group, you can see it there. Seth says some sole proprietors don't know the term strategic partnering. Is there another term? Yes, you can just use partnering if you want. You can use partnering opportunity. Most do know what strategic partnering is. You can use I don't know if they'll be au fait with joint ventures, but you can just use just take the word strategic out and just leave the word partnering in, I'd say. then it'd be, you know, if you're open to partnering, right? Just take the word strategic out. If you want to do that for sole proprietors, yeah, I'd say take the word strategic out and just use the word partnering, because obviously they'll know what partnering is, and you know, if other companies, for example, are looking to partner with them, so yeah, just take the word strategic out, and leave the word partnering in there, and you should be okay with that. But the script is pretty much the same. It works the same. It's the same mechanism. Just out of interest, Seth, who's the client that you're trying to generate leads for? Why are they after sole proprietors? Do you want to put that in the chat box, comment box? So I might be able to, if I can probably help you further drill that down, because you're looking to generate leads for a client. The client is specifically looking for sole proprietors. What is it they offer? What's the service that they're offering, or the product that they're offering? Yeah, let me know about that, because then I can then I can obviously I can help you on that and drill that down further. Because then we can also identify where to look for the sole proprietors. I mean, you got. It depends if it's local as well. If it's national, then the internet, obviously, directories there are on the internet. Depending, there's also, don't forget, also associations. So if the client has a particular product that and is looking for sole proprietors in a certain industry, then you can go to association websites where you can find members in that association. And those members, if they're members of an association, they're obviously paying for that membership, right? So these are guys that are already investing in marketing. So they'll be open to working with you and on some basis. So, always think about that. And, just when you're drilling down who the sole proprietors are, also where are they, and the quality. So yeah, just if you, I mean, you're welcome to email it to me if you want, so it's not a problem. And just let me know. Okay, cool. They offer online training certification for a technique that therapists, counselors use. Most therapists are sole proprietors. Interesting. Okay, so here's the thing, right? With therapists, right? There are directories, okay, on the internet that list therapists. So I would say definitely there's associations for therapists as well. So finding the therapist shouldn't be too much of a problem. Um, I think the script will work for them, because I think they're a lot of therapists. They do offer different products and different services, and they do collaborations as well, because do they do get involved in partnerships, because they're bringing in different products and services basically for their clients and customers. So I think that would be a good one. I think that would work pretty well. So you just want to speak to them and say, okay, this is what we offer. It's an online training certification for a technique that therapists, counselors use. Okay, so this is interesting because yeah, I think that's fine. Can I ask you a question? How is the client closing these? What's the setup that you've got here? Are you just generating the leads for them, and then they do the close? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, yeah. So you can basically just set up the introduction, and if the therapist, the sole proprietor, asks you, well, we're interested. How can we work together? Then that would be basically the best way to do it is to form a partnership, and then I always say, yeah, I said exactly. That's what you would do. Brilliant. Yeah, spot on. So if you've seen my training and you've seen how I do it exactly the same way, and you see the way I do the messaging. It's actually in the program that you have access to as well. I do a whole. I show you the whole. I'll show you the whole, what's it called? The whole communication thread. Yeah, check it out. It's in there, right? It's in that one of those modules. I think it's in the Getting Clients and JV Partners module. I got the latest case study in there in terms of how I set up the appointments and the questions that I asked, and exactly how I got them to say yes to setting up the appointment, right? How I got the number, and then I just basically said, look, okay, my client, when's the best time for them to talk? Sometimes they'll ask you who your client is, and and if they ask you that question, then then if you go in the training and have a look, and I'll show you exactly how I answer that question, right? And sometimes the sole proprietor will probably say, that sounds great. We'd love to connect with your client. I'm free on Wednesday. Here's my telephone number. Here's my email. Get your client to reach out to me. Sometimes the sole proprietor may say, well, that sounds great. Who is the client and what is it all about? Then don't give them a long, too much text. Just mention that this is what my client does. They work with therapists like you, helping them to, by creating a partnership, basically, just say that, yeah, to help you increase your revenues or whatever. And they work with a lot of therapists like yourself. What's a good day and time for my client to give you a call? And then let them give you the day and the time first. And when they've done that, then you say to them, okay, that sounds great. I'll get my client Paul to reach out to you and he'll give you a call at that time and day. Yeah, so that's how you do it. So don't always give the name up front. Let them confirm the appointment first, get the appointment scheduled and agreed, and then you can give the client's name after that. So it's all in the training. If you have a look how I did it step by step and got them to agree. Yeah, that's right. But the way you do it is, look, here's the thing, right? When it comes to pitching, you've got to be careful here because you don't want to come across as being too salesy, right? So pitching is great, but I wouldn't use the word pitching, right? You got to use the word partnering, because if I'm selling something to a company, I'm not going to say I'm going to pitch you, right? I'm going to sell you. I'm going to say, look, let's form a partnership. We want to be in a long-term partnership with you, and we want to provide you with our goods and services, right? That's the way you do it. So you've got to be very careful. Don't use the word pitching at all, because they don't like that, because they don't want to get on a call and the guy says, oh, I heard you're interested in my product, and they'll say, well, we don't really know what it is. What is your product? Yeah. So just be very careful with that. You've got to get your client to understand that they're in it for a long-term relationship. So how your client would approach them, they would say to them, look, what we want to do is we want to build a long-term relationship with you guys, right? By providing you with this product. Yeah. So make sure that you mention that to them, that when they do talk about their product or service, they've got to come across as they are building a relationship, right, with that business. If you do that, then it won't come across as being sales, because too many people do the salesy stuff. They say, okay, look, I heard you're interested in our product, or you want to buy a product, and they'll say, look, what is it you're trying to do here? So be very careful of the pitching stuff, because people just don't like that on LinkedIn. You've got to get them to come across and say, look, what I am really is a relationship builder. I build relationships for people looking to create partnerships through products and services. So that's the way I do it. I term it like that because it's a more softer approach, and it doesn't sound too salesy. So yeah, that's fine. So yeah, it's more of a relationship build, right? So they want to build a long. Put it this way, we want to work with you guys. We want to build a long-term relationship, and we've got something that I think that will allow us to build that relationship with you. And this is what we have to offer. We have an online certification program for therapists and counselors, and it's well received. And what we want to do really is get you guys to try it, and we want to build a long-term relationship with you guys, and we want to work together, right? So you've got to use that terminology. We want to work together. Trust me, I've been in business for such a long time. I've seen what people do, and people don't like being pitched. They don't like the pitching stuff. So just make sure that you mention that they want to build a long-term relationship with you, and they want to work together with you. Even though they're providing them with the product, it's fine, but they're going to still help them grow their business by working with them. So always remember that. Yeah, the partnership thing, the relationship building, and the working together is just a more of a softer approach, and it allows them to make an easier decision, right? So just be aware of that. And with that, so. No, okay, look, yeah, pretty much. The client has to come across as essentially offering the opportunity to work together. So yeah, you don't have to use the word partnership. You can use the word they come across as essentially offering the opportunity to work together. So working together means that they're just because they don't just provide a product or service, right? They provide the support behind it as well. So let's say, for example, with me, right, with you guys I'll give you a classic example. A lot of you guys in my mastermind group, right? I could sell you something, right? I could sell you my product or service, and that's it. But that's me pitching you, right? But what I do is I offer you guys the opportunity for us to work together, right? And I work with you. That's more appealing, and a lot of you guys have come into this program because of that. Because I'm always going going one step further by making sure that I get involved, right, with whatever you guys are doing, yeah, and I help you to use that product or that service that I provide you with. So yeah, just use the word. They'll be using the word working together, which really is the same thing as a partnership. But then a partnership is a different understanding and a more stronger word. So when we use the script, we obviously mention the word partnership, so they think, okay, yeah, we working together, right? So it's fine. But then we will provide you with a product or service, but we will still work together with you. So we'll work together with you to show you how to implement that product or service into your company to make it more successful. Does that help? I'm just trying to sort of get across that point. That okay, cool, brilliant. Yeah, because trust me, man. When I used to do corporate stuff, that is the route I used to go down. They loved it. These guys, they spent so much money. I mean, they didn't bring me in just once. They used to bring me in 2 or 3 times, and they're paying like 30K a day for consulting, right? And the reason why is I said to them, this is how we work. We're working together basically. So I want to work together with you guys to offer you my product or service, or offer you what I have, and then help you guys and get the most out of it. And by working together. So always use that phrase, working together. All right, good. And like I said, let me know how you get on with that. When you get a couple of results that come in, please do share it with me, and then I can say, look, this is the right way in terms of what you're doing. I would tweak it more depending on your responses. Make sure you always share that with me, because then what I don't want you to do is go out there and blast it, and then after 50 tries or 20 tries, it's like, this is not working. And then I look at the first 3 responses and I say, this is why, because we have to tweak that script. So do a couple, send it out, and then let me know what happens, and always let me know so I can actually say, look, this is what I would do in that situation, and let's see if we can tweak that better to get a better response. Because it all comes down to testing, really, especially when you're going into a different industry. All right, guys. I think that's it. Any more questions? Please put it in the chat box, comment box, and otherwise we will close up the call for this week, and I'll get the recordings up into the group, so everyone else can watch the replay and recording. Good. Thanks, Seth. I appreciate your input there, and yeah, good luck with that. And let me know, like I say, step by step, each step of the way. Just let me know how you're getting on. Yeah, thanks, buddy. So I can help you. So I can actually get involved, which is what my job really is here, to make sure that I get involved with what you guys are doing, to make sure that we get the results for each of you, right? And like I say, if you've got anything you're working on, just share it with me. Just message me, email me, and we can I can have a look at it for you, and give you the right advice on the quickest way and the best way to get the results that you want to get from that. All right, guys. So I think that's it. No more questions. So I look forward to seeing you guys again on the next Mastermind call. Remember, it's Sunday, 27th of September. Like I say, a couple of days before that, normally on a Friday, I put the post up for the Mastermind call. So just put your challenges in there, and let's get on these Mastermind calls, and get as much as we can out of them. All right, guys. So take care wherever you are in the world. Have a great evening, afternoon, morning, and I will speak to you guys again very soon. So take care. Bye bye.